Five Nights at Freddy's needs no introduction. It's considered one of the most popular horror gaming franchises to this day. Across its span of 7 years, there has been a plethora of games ranging from point-and-click, to VR, to AAA, a book series, and even a movie that has been in the hiatus of sorts for years. The creator of this series, Scott Cawthon, has been adored for his games. From his humble beginnings creating Christian Bible games and the creator of failed games such as Chip and Sons Lumber Company, all the way to his current standings as a multimillionaire, he sure has come a long way. However, I'm sure a history lesson is not what you wanted when you click on this video. As most of you are probably aware at this point, Scott Cawthon has retired from game development, as well as the community as a whole. While this was seemingly long coming, considering he originally planned to end the series at the 4th installment, I'm sure this was not the plan until just earlier this week. What pushed him over into the decision of retirement was the result of the recent Twitter drama. For those that are not aware, Scott has donated over $1 million to charities and causes alike over the years. He has donated to many streamers doing charity events, and has even donated to some Democratic politicians. This of course was met with praise from the community for his charitable nature. However, it was leaked that Scott donated to several Republican politicians just last week. On the contrary to his previous donations, this was unsurprisingly met with an uproar from a chunk of the community. Many of those in the LGBTQ community felt hurt because they felt that this was a direct attack against them. They also claimed that they built his community, and this was a huge betrayal that no one saw coming from him. While most of the crowd stuck to just canceling him, there was a select group of people taking to the point of doxing and death threats. Some YouTubers that built their entire audience off of his games even joined in the crowd. And while not canceling him or sending any threats, there were those that did say that Scott was in the wrong. While some did stick up for Scott, it seemed that the majority were against him. Scott responded on the FNAF subreddit with a good explanation for his actions, why he was not going to apologize for his opinion, etc. While the response on a clinical standpoint was good, considering the situation, many were not appeased. Channels such as FNAF made videos saying Scott was using manipulation tactics in his response to the drama. Other YouTubers did not pick sides, most notably of which was Dawko, who took both sides and overall had a wholesome response to what was essentially the darkest point in the FNAF fanbase history. With all that was going on, just a few days after the beginning of the drama, Scott announced his retirement on his website. He did not go into a huge fit about why he was destroyed by the community that turned on him. He instead said he wanted to spend some time with his family. While part of this explanation for his retirement is most likely true, most people are quite aware that the drama is what rushed him into his decision prematurely. Many on Twitter rejoiced, while others were sad to see him go, myself included. And with that, we reach present day. Many are still making videos and posts on the situation. Many arguments are taking place, and some big questions are being posed, such as who is going to take over the franchise. While these are some important questions, what I said to address today is what the drama as a whole means for gaming, and why it should scare some other game developers, especially some small and single developers. The first question I want to get into is, did Scott deserve what happened? To put it bluntly, no, he did not. The whole drama started when it was leaked that he donated to these politicians. He did not make this public in any way, or say anything about it when he did so. In fact, this led many to believe that he was tricked into donating, at least before he came out with his response. Now, who you donate to and why shouldn't really be anyone else's business. I'm not saying that the leak in itself was personal or private info, but what I'm trying to get across is that Scott had no intentions of people seeing this, because it shouldn't really matter to anyone. But of course, as soon as it was discovered, there was no going back. And even when it was made public, it still shouldn't have been blown into such huge proportions. He donated to some politicians that many do not agree with, that's all. But many treated this as an open statement that he did not support the LGBTQ community, despite there being nothing said from Scott himself. People jumped straight to conclusions, as if they wanted nothing more but to cancel him. Now, I want to make myself very clear here. I myself have no problems with the LGBTQ community. This is simply me giving my reasons as to why Scott should not have been the recipient of all this hate. He's done some great things for everyone, but the community has seemingly tossed that aside over one single incident, which really didn't even need to be one. With that said, the other question is, what does this mean for other game developers and the gaming community? Well, it goes to show that no matter how good of a game you make, people will hate you for your opinion. No matter how much positivity you spread through the community or through donations to charities, people will hate you for your opinion. As many tweets have said themselves, Scott has been very inclusive throughout the past 7 years. But this doesn't stop cancel culture from attacking him over a few donations. People who don't even know the game or Scott are jumping on the hate train just because the headlines say that he's receiving backlash from his donations. It's a bit ridiculous how having an opinion can cause your downfall from grace. You don't even need to state your opinion and it can still happen, and Scott is a shining example of that. The moral being portrayed by Twitter and the rest of the cancel culture is that in order to stay liked in the world, you have to conform to their beliefs. Otherwise, you might become the next Scott Cawthon. In conclusion, Scott Cawthon will be missed for his beloved games. He received lots of unwarranted hate from his most dedicated fans over generous donations, and there is no other way of looking at it. I myself grew up with these games, and it's especially sad to me to see him retire. However, I do not blame him in the slightest under these circumstances. I really hope he regains his happiness without this community, and that he knows that for many of us, he is still a legend in the gaming world. And with that said, thank you for watching. My other videos on this channel will not be drama based, however, I thought this was definitely a video that needed to be made. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.